made everyone a little warmer today. Yeah, I can wear a skirt again. Well, all of that business. That was a little too cold last week. But I'm glad you all made it. I want to make sure we can go over all of the community updates. And then, of course, we'll go into questions afterwards. So please, reminder, do silence your cell phones or anything you have that might make a noise. That way everyone can hear. And as of now, do we have any resident announcements or updates? Yes, of course.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm wearing this red. Can't hear you. Guys at all.
You need to put it by your mouth.
I'm wearing this red top with hearts on. Okay. I'm wearing this red heart blouse to remind you that Valentine's Day is only 3 weeks away. And honestly, Lindsay and I didn't call each other, but the red says it all. And we are having, the scholarship committee is having our fundraiser, which is the bundt cakes, the Nothing Bundt cakes. And they're delicious. If you have a sweetie, they're gonna love those sweet pastries. If you don't have a sweetie, you're gonna love those sweet pastries. They're delicious. They will be here on February 13th and have the booth in the lobby of the South Building, and you can come and pick what you want. But the easier thing to do is have the order form, and you can order ahead of time. And on the order form is the list of the flavors and the different things that you can buy. You can buy a bundt cake, which is called a bundlet. You can buy a bundlet cooler combo, and this is the cooler. It's very cute. And at my house, it holds a whole lot of paper towels and things like that. And you can have a bundlet tower with 2 bundlets, or you can have a buntini box of a dozen. The prices are on here, the flavors are on here, and you can fill it out, and you can make a checkout to Nothing Bundt Cakes, and you can put them in my mailbox, which will soon be M51 in the North Building, or Debbie Weiss Shadle's box in P112 in the South Building. But just remember that everything, 20% of this goes to the scholarship committee. So what we sell comes back to us in wonderful ways, and I hope you will participate. Thank you. My new apartment is M512. And if I'm there, I may be surrounded by boxes, but I'll take these.
Thank you for that. Any additional announcements? Okay, we will roll into our updates. So a little from IHS, congratulations to Miss Willie Meisner for M407. You got some free hours, so put them to work. Make sure they work hard for you. Get them in there, have them scrub your baseboards if you need. But you got some free services from IHS, so thanks for participating. We just always want to remind you, and all the time, they offer many services to help. Could be showering, medication management, laundry, shopping, pets. And always our goal is to keep you safe and comfortable in your apartment as long as possible. So please always remember, IHS is there for you for anything that you need help with. So just another reminder, are you tired of hearing from me about this? The luggage carts, wheelchairs, and other carts, please make sure those stay in those areas, that they're returned after you're done with them, and just be respectful of our residents that need to use them. So it's been going well, thank you. I just want to give that reminder. Again, we are asking, we'll keep this on here for a little bit as well. Don't forget to update your front desk if you're going away for at least a night. When you return from being home, if you have a hospital or rehab stay, and then if you have a change in phone number. So please, please make sure we update the front desk. Again, packages, I just want to make sure that we are mentioning, please be aware that when Amazon sends that notification, they're not always here, so just give the front desk a little time. We are still getting lots and lots of packages, and now, of course, we've got Blue Team on site, so they're getting lots of packages, so we just want to make sure we can keep this process, managed chaos as much as possible. So, reminder, I know we mentioned this before, but the 2024 Regency Oaks tax letters, we are providing the annual tax letters by mid-February. This is important to provide your tax preparer, especially if you moved into Regency in 2024. So just be on the lookout for those. We're getting those about mid-February. This is the annual homestead tax exemption form. These are coming soon. So one will be in each resident box, as one needs to be completed per apartment. You complete the 3 questions, you sign, and you return it to the front desk by February 20th. The 3 questions are, did you live here on January 1? Do you have a contract with Regency? Yes, if you live here, you do. And did you claim homestead exemptions on another property? If you have any questions, Betsy can most certainly help you with that, but you will be getting this form in your boxes. So just be on the lookout for those. We do those every year. Excuse me. So our employees of the month. So we are doing a little bit of catch up. We had lots going on throughout the holidays, so we didn't get to go every single month like we normally would. But for November, we had Erica Morales, our health center scheduler. She's actually been with us for 22 years. So she is mostly in our healthcare center, and she's been with Regency for 22 years. So she was Employee of the Month for November. And then Joyce Fisher, our IHS CNA, was Employee of the Month for December. And Joyce is recognized for providing over 6 years of care for our residents. So if you've ever used IHS services, you may or may not have worked with her. She's absolutely amazing, and she was our December Employee of the Month.
I would like to point out that Erica has received scholarships for the past several years. She's raising a daughter and working full-time on her own and going to school.
That's amazing. Thank you, Miss Judy. Yes, she's absolutely wonderful, and we're glad to have her for 22 years. So just a little updates from Evan. Environmental Services asking that if you see something in an area, please do submit a work order. If you see any carpets on the stains on the carpets or any main areas, please do submit a work order. I actually have initiated a floor captain process to where all of my directors have specific floors that they are responsible for rounding to help us address areas. I can't be everywhere always. We do ask for your help if you see an area to submit a work order and let us know so we can take care of it. But we are implementing that process so we can make sure that we can cover hopefully every inch of our 40 acres of this campus. But we do want your help, so if you happen to see an area, please submit a work order so we can get that taken care of. And then Evan just mentioned, considering the high volume of work currently underway in the north building, the team is focused on that first floor. Of course, we know that's a major traffic area. M-wing, S-wing, and R-wing, handrails, baseboards, electrical box covers, entryway molding, flooring, doors, and furniture are high focus areas. So we're continuing to make sure that we beef up cleaning on a lot of those main traffic, high touch areas. So just a little bit from plants. They had 126 completed work orders, about 50 remain open. Elevator 4 in the north was repaired. We do have our health center re-piping project has begun. We did complete a new unit turnover in IL for a new move-in. We've replaced 2 new ACs in resident apartments. We are currently down a few techs. We are, as I mentioned last week, doing quite aggressive recruitment so we can get those positions filled. and lots of project management. So we did get the CapEx approval. I know I went over that last Tuesday of all of those items. So there are a few projects that Darwin is managing. So remember, Darwin is our plant operations director. He does not manage our work orders. That's typically Chris. Darwin is managing our projects. So we have about 3 meetings today with various vendors for some of the projects that we have slated for 2025 CapEx. So Kelly's actually been out sick, another victim to all of the various illnesses going around. So we are going to need to postpone our transitions of care that was scheduled today. We'll get more information out about that, but I have a full schedule of all of these vendors that we'll be visiting, and a couple of our directors are out sick, so we are having to postpone that. So we do apologize for any inconvenience, and we will get that back on schedule and get that communicated for all of you. So as I mentioned, we do still have lots of illness going around. Healthcare is still in an outbreak with flu, and now we have some positive COVID cases over there. So we want to just mention to make sure we've got flu, COVID, and norovirus still flying around. So just please be extra aware and cautious. Universal precautions, hand washing, covering your mouth, sneezing, all of that fun stuff. As I mentioned, we are increasing a lot of our infection control and environmental services in those high-touch areas, but we want to make sure that we can be as careful as possible. So I know we mentioned this last time, but just another reminder, we are going to be working on the Resident Wellness Journey Map activities. So we do have that sign up at the trip tables to receive that information, and we will be holding that on Tuesday, February 4th, here in the Town Hall. So that'll be lots of good information about physical, emotional, environmental, spiritual, vocational, social, intellectual, and health services. Basically the 8 dimensions of health and wellness. So lots of good information, so please make sure that you do attend that. The information should be at the trip table. I don't have the time on the top of my head, but I know she's got it all there. So from activities, Ginger loves all the puppies. We thought you'd enjoy that. So Tuesday, January 28th, we did mention the transition of care is scheduled at a later date. Wednesday, 29th, Traveling Agent Carmen for all your traveling needs will be at 11 in the Town Hall. Thursday, January 30th, we have the Pilgrimage Healing with Ann at 11:30, Activity Room South. Again, Thursday the 30th, we have theater group at 1 p.m. in Town Hall, and then Saturday, line dancing at 11 a.m. in Town Hall. So just a little bit of events for this week, as it's gotten a little warmer than last week. So we did just want to mention we are going to be purchasing 2 more holders for the elevators, but please do try to refrain from posting a bunch of things up there. We've got nice decorative enclosings there, but we still have a lot of people putting various flyers. So we're going to talk to the team as well. We know it's a good source of information, but we can't have 22 flyers all over the elevators. So we will be adding 2 more, so we'll have 4 total. And we thank you for your cooperation with that. I know I did ask Tony to post his up there just for additional exposure. So, but after that, we are trying to make sure that we utilize the various areas of communication and that we don't have just a bunch of sticky tape and flyers all over those. So just an update from sales. We are having a strong start, as I mentioned, to sales this year. We are on track to make our budgeted sales for January and of course working on February. I did mention, but the entire sales team for independent living, assisted living, and skilled nursing, as well as myself and Kyle, will be at a conference February 5th, 6th, and 7th. I'm actually getting to present there. Super excited about that. So yeah, that'll be fun. I'll be presenting with Amy Wall and Aaron Clem, and if you've ever given Aaron Clem a microphone, you know how that goes. So we'll have fun. but we'll be at a sales conference, so we'll have the directors helping cover the sales office for those couple of days. Like I mentioned, we'll have coverage, and then we do have the date for the resident family cocktail party. We did need to change that, so Erin will be getting an additional date out shortly for that. So they have so many great events between the road shows and the on-campus events. Lots and lots of events scheduled for the entire year and for this next quarter, but we'll make sure that you have the information for that one because we would love for you and your family to attend. So a little from our food and beverage. So they said French theme night is on February 27th, and they said the after party is in Town Hall from 7 to 8:30. Everyone dress up and wear white. The food and wine pairing, we only had about 5 people signed up, so that has been canceled just due to low attendance. So Ricky wanted to make sure we communicate that. The gourmet dinner says on Wednesday the 29th, and tacos and tequila, we spelled tequila wrong. Tuesday the 4th in the Regency Room. And then we did want to mention, I know we mentioned it last week, Chef Tony has moved his office to the South Building, and Chef Tony has started his mini hall meeting so he can just touch base with all of you residents as far as any feedback on food and beverage. So if for whatever reason you can't make your designated hall time, you can go at any other time. It's not a big deal. It's an open forum, and he just wants your feedback. So I highly encourage you to do that. Lots of conversations obviously go with the food committee. The food committee is supporting and attending these meetings. And I think this is going to be the most productive way to make sure that your voices are heard and that we are serving you the way you'd like to be. So these are the most appropriate venues for comments about food and beverage. So I highly, highly encourage you to participate. So you can tell me your feedback, I'll take it, but Chef Tony's the one cooking the food. So it's really important that if you do have anything in particular, please do make sure you're sharing it directly with our executive chef. We hired him, he comes with lots of accolades and lots of talent, and he's here with an open heart and an open mind, and he wants to hear from you. So please do make sure you're attending those, and if for whatever reason you can't attend your specific hall, you can go to another one. It's not a big deal, we're super flexible. Okay? So then I know I mentioned this last week, so I'll just keep it up again in case anyone missed it, but these are the CapEx approvals. The elevator, we have a meeting with them today at 1. We'll be meeting to try to ascertain the most effective way to spend $500,000 on our elevators. So we will need to do assessments, we will need to see which ones are the most detrimental, which ones need what. So that's at 1 today, that Darwin and I will be meeting with TKE. We are still in an exclusive contract with them, so we are only able to work with TKE. Roof replacements were slated at $1.7 million, that was part of CapEx approval. As I mentioned, every year we've got about $300,000 for new ACs because it is hot in Florida. And we need that, so every year we have a good amount set aside to be proactive about addressing ACs. We do have the paving project. As we mentioned, we're on the 3rd portion of that. That is 4 phases per the lender, so we'll be starting that a little sooner this year. It went much smoother, so we'll be starting that and meeting with them. We also have a meeting right now that I will get to once we're done with Tuesday Talk, that Mix Network is here, and they're actually going to be one of the possible vendors submitting a bid for our new phone systems. So nothing exciting for you, our new phone systems. We need them for Regency. So I have to meet with them a little after this. Darwin is with them now. We continue to have, of course, the post-fire. I know it feels like it was years ago, and it was. We're still finishing that project with the carpets, so there's still a slated amount outstanding for that. And now, of course, we have the Hurricane Milton project with some slated funds towards that. So again, I just wanted to put this in front of you. These are the various projects. But as I mentioned, your railroad board and all of you voted on a few items that were smaller, not quite requiring $25,000 or more. So there might be some that we are still able to address in our routine this year. So I'll be working with Ms. Margaret and the board on some of those once we get these initial ones underway. So lots and lots of projects every year, but we're really thankful to have an ownership group who continues to put asset management in our community every year. Then just a little from me, I know I mentioned it, but 5th, 6th, and 7th, I'll be at a sales conference. I am aging an additional year tomorrow, so I will be out for a little birthday trip tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. I know we've mentioned the blue team, that continues to be my biggest focus with Darwin and Betsy and the team. We are doing about 212 total areas on campus. We are doing about 90 apartments. So about 90 residents, those who have gotten those letters are needing to relocate for about 7 to 10 days. We do have the first set of residents that will be relocating today. And we are just continuing this process, so we're learning every day. We're kind of making sure we get it underway and fine-tuning it. So we appreciate you working with us. Pendants have been asked about, still troubleshooting a few of those locations. They are doing an additional, some additional work with additional equipment to get those locations more finite. So that is coming to an end very, very soon, thank goodness. I did ask that Blue Team come to Tuesday Talk every Tuesday around 11 o'clock for any questions. I don't work for Blue Team. I don't manage them. I don't do construction. I don't have all the answers. We are trying to communicate as much as possible. They are doing over 200 areas, various work, inside, outside, in resident apartments, out of resident apartments. So Betsy doesn't know, I don't know, we don't always have all the answers from Blue Team, so I did ask that they come and join us in Tuesday Talk to maybe try to answer some of those. So we are trying to communicate as much as we know, as frequently as we can, but we just simply don't have all the answers. So we did ask that they join us, usually around 11 o'clock, to answer any specific questions that you have, and we'll additionally try to have a Q&A. So for those residents that are wanting additional communication or have additional questions, I have reached out to the senior VP. Her name is Sarah. She's the main project manager, but she's not on site. For her to come out and do a Q&A. So we are still working on the details, but she is hoping to come out next week, so we'll get that information out to those that's important to, and she will be here for a Q&A. Like I said, we've tried to triage questions, and it's just becoming overwhelming for myself, Betsy, and my team to actually do our normal job, which is run Regency Oaks. Because there's just so much going on with the Blue Team project, and we simply don't know all the answers. We just don't. So there's 50 plus Blue team members here that are doing lots and lots and lots of scopes. So we're hoping to get in front of some of that communication by maybe not me giving you the info, because I don't know it, but bringing you those that can. So we're working on that for you. Make sure I lose my spot. I know I mentioned Mixed Network will be here for the phones. I know I mentioned TKE will be here as well. We know we discussed the chef during our hall meetings. I did go over skilled nursing flu outbreak. Again, they do have now COVID positive cases, so we cannot mandate that you do not visit, but we highly suggest that you do not. And I think that was the majority of what I wanted to make sure we go over. Again, we know Blue Team is on site. They're going to have an office here. They're going to have a trailer in the back. They are working nights. They are working weekends. We are trying to get this project done. So they're not in your hair or my hair for the next year. So with that being said, they are trying to get as much done as quickly as possible to make sure all of these various areas are remediated. But the good thing is you asked what we're doing about it, and this is what we're doing. We're getting these areas fixed, we're getting them addressed, making sure that they're all resolved, and that our community will basically be brand new when we're done, I think. So at that moment, any questions you have for me about anything? Yes, Miss Linda.
Question about what notification will we have when people go into our apartment and when we have to leave And will it be 1 week or will it be more like 2? That we have to leave if we have water damage around 2 windows and 2 walls?
So the time frame is about 7 to 10 days, and we have been communicating with those residents usually about a week in advance. We're just getting started, so not quite there, but we are trying to give about a week's notice, and it's about 7 to 10 days max that you would be relocated and then back to your home.
And is there any indication that we could possibly do more than a week's notice?
We can most certainly
Because
try.
we're going to the West Coast when that happens.
Yeah, just communicate with myself or Betsy, and we can try to work that out. But we are following kind of Blue Team's direction, and they obviously have needs on their operational capacity as well. So we're trying to work with those, but we'll try to work with your schedule as much as possible.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Lindsay, I listened to last week's on 7:32. You cannot hear the questions. Would you please repeat the question before you answer it? Otherwise, we have no idea what the question was.
So she was just basically asking if we can give, what type of notice we would give, and would it be longer than 1 to 2 weeks?
Timing for all questions.
Okay, I will try my best.
I noticed that you were talking about us pointing out things that needed to be done in the common areas, but I wasn't clear on who we need to notify if we see an area that needs attention.
Sure, so just let the front desk know and we can place a work order. You can also place a work order from your app if you're user-friendly with the app, but you can also let the front desk know.
Well, this would involve painting and repairing.
That's perfect.
Okay.
That's exactly what we would love that, thank you. There's 500 of you, so yes, any of that feedback, that way we can get that addressed. Thank you, Ms. Hanky.
Lindsay, for us that have to relocate, is the meal plan 1 meal a day?
Yes, everything stays the same. The question was, is the meal plan 1 meal a day? Everything stays the same.
There are any cooking facilities in the new place we moved to?
Yes, so the guest suites were made with a bathroom setup, a kitchen setup, a living room setup, a dining room setup, and a bedroom setup.
We have dishes and stuff?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You won't starve, I promise.
You have a television?
Yes, I do. And cable. I got you. I'm even ordering cricket phones because it didn't occur to me that you probably need a phone. So I'm ordering jitterbug phones for those apartments.
I had a problem in my lanai. I had to have towels all around it, and they were looking up at the ceiling and all that, but they haven't come back and told me that they were going to do anything about it.
Okay, we'll follow up. We actually have Mr. Nieves here from Blue Team. That was Miss Elaine. What was your apartment number again?
R210.
R210. So she's asking about an update for her apartment.
This is for Betsy. It's that time of year, are we going to get the shredders in?
The question was, are we going to get the shredders in?
April. I usually order those every April, so I will get this, like, with the tax season, you know, you have in with the new and out with the old. Yep.
You're much earlier. January's been long. Dr. Bader?
Yeah, in a recent Tuesday talk, we heard about the survey that the associates did. If and when will the residents get a chance to do a survey?
So we do those every 2 years. We were supposed to have a pulse survey, a brief one last year. We were actually getting ready to roll that out when 3 hurricanes hit us. So unfortunately, we did not do that last year, but it is on schedule for this year. As a company and as a portfolio, every 2 years it is slated, and it is usually, what is that, right around July? So July, yeah, around that time. So we will, in fact, be doing that again this year. It's every 2 years normally.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did everyone hear the question? Okay. Any other questions? Chet?
You talked about a couple of CapEx projects, the phone update and the elevator. Could we hear a little bit more about what the objective of those are?
To get new and working equipment. So we actually have the meetings today, so it's in the initial bid, and that's exactly what we'll be discussing. So I won't pretend to know about elevator components, but we'll meet with TKE. We'll go over any assessments, we'll try to determine what's needed for what elevator, and where we will exhaust our funds for that. And then for the phones, they're antiquated and they need to be completely replaced and updated. So we'll be getting completely new phones.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? All right, I have blue team here if you've got any questions for them. Jeffrey, guess there's no questions at the moment. Appreciate it.
And I would like to say real fast, the residents that received the letter, we've been going in apartment order. So if you live in the A wing, we've started the notifications and some of the residents are moving. We're now on the C wing. So according to the alphabet, M is next. So if you're on the M wing, consider this your official notice that you will be moving in the next few weeks, and I will reach out to you with more details very shortly.
Thank you. Thank you again for attending. Thank you for your understanding. Thank you for your cooperation. We appreciate it. We're trying to get it all done as quickly as possible, so thank you.